Oh, hello. I'm Wisteria and welcome to my channel, Wisteria in the Garden. I do thank you for joining us tonight. This is our second episode. Well, it is October. It is spooky season. It is time for ghosts and ghouls and Halloween and harvest festivals. Well, I think it's going to be a beautiful month, and I really hope you enjoy yours as well. First, I must ask, please follow, please subscribe, help me out, I'm new, and go easy on the comments. I'm new at this. I usually don't wear a lot of makeup. Maybe soon I'll put some makeup on for you. Yes, I am naturally this beautiful. I do appreciate you subscribing and putting a little bell so that you know that you will have new episodes coming your way. Now, I live in Savannah, and I will be always doing these episodes talking about my interest, including Savannah and history and ghosts and ghouls and mystery, and other things as well. I like travel and artwork, and so I do hope you're going to enjoy. Sometimes we'll be here in my home, and sometimes we will actually just be strolling through Savannah. And I always think that's really lovely. People come to Savannah all the time and really enjoy our city. And I think it would be nice to go out and for you all to see as well. Perhaps you've never been to Savannah. Well, we've been here since 1734. Where have you been? Well, first things first, my poison. I have to have a little poison every day. Sorry. So, it's October. There's a little emphasis on certain things in October. Excuse me. Ghosts, spirits, specters, spooks. I'm so sorry. Oh, I needed that. One enjoys a libation. I enjoy a Coca-Cola. I wanted to talk to you about spirits. Not the kind in the bottle. That's another episode. Let's talk about spirits, ghosts, ghouls. What are they? Do you believe in them? I never have pushed my beliefs onto anyone. You see, I was a tour guide for several years. Technically still am. I just don't give any tours. I think that what is a ghost? I think ghosts are a little bit of energy that's trapped. And maybe perhaps that memory, that energy is held on, perhaps by a home, perhaps by an item. They say ghosts haunt for 3 reasons. They haunt because they have unfinished business, because they were happiest, or that area, that place is where they died. And I really think a lot about that when I'm out and about in this Savannah, and you can see the area and the old homes. Our oldest home in Savannah is 1734, and then it goes from there. So imagine, it was a very hard time in 1734. People are struggling. Disease, weather takes over, and you have someone now who has died in that place, and that energy might hold forth. Well, I think that's a lot what a spirit is. When I came to Savannah, I started working in a place called Pirate's House. That is actually the oldest building in Savannah. And we'll go there on one of my episodes. It's fascinating as it has so much history, and it really hasn't changed much Of course, they have to keep it safe for the public, but it really is just a lovely place for you to walk about, have a good meal, or have a beverage, a libation. And while I worked there, I heard things, and I did see things as well. But one thing I want to say is if you're interested in some other storytellers, I have some books here that I always show everyone. This is a book here by James Caskey. He is a local guide, amazing. They have not asked me to say anything. I just wanted to offer some items you might be interested in. Haunted Savannah. So that is one item, one book. I have another book here, Haunted Savannah by Georgia Bird. So there you are. And these are all books I have had and read over the years, because when I first came here, well, I didn't know much about Savannah history, and I didn't know much about the ghosts here either. So upon reading these books and then actually working and being in the surroundings of these homes or properties, it really was an experience. So this book is one of my favorites, Savannah Spectre, and it is by Margaret DeBolt. Margaret DeBolt. So there you are. When I first became a guide, this was the book that I had to read before my first tour and while I was training. Now, the amazing thing about this book is there are facts, the historic facts about the properties, and they do a background check. So probably this series, because this is my background as well, I will take little bits out from this book when we go around town and see different sites. I think that would be good, because some people, well, they need the facts and they want the facts. They don't want to be lied to. And this channel is not a storytelling channel. This channel is about my personal experiences in Savannah, with ghosts or maybe celebrities or anything at all. But it is not just stories, they're factual. And behind the facts, many times the years the houses were built will be from this book, because I think that's important. But so that will be our story. We will cross-reference. Now, I did want to show you, I brought something else, a little bit about Savannah. Savannah, of course, had been touched by many things: war and pestilence, bad weather, superstition, hoodoo, Catholicism, a little bit of everything, Methodism. So we could go on and talk for hours about anything, but I did want to show you my little collection of bottles. While I was working at Pirate's House, a fine gentleman would come by and share what things he had found. You see, he would go digging around town. I knew a couple gentlemen who actually would do this. One would actually go to the privies and dig about 10 feet down, and they would find, you see this one has little writing on it, what was going on. I found this bottle fascinating. It wasn't until later my historic history friend told me what these bottles were for. This one in particular was actually for cocaine. Can you believe that? Now, I had one that had poison marked on it. Some of them you can actually see. There's still dirt on them. Really beautiful. And I really love that. This one, look at that. There's my bottle right there. Poison. But aren't they lovely? And they all have different shapes. Now, my historic friend, he came over one night, and he pulled every bottle out and told me exactly what bottle was for which medicine. I do wish I took notes, so I don't remember, but I just think they're really beautiful. And again, talking about artifacts and items that maybe spirits might hold on to, this would be a very good example. But am I haunted by these little bottles? No. I've had these bottles a long time, and I love them. They're just mystery, and just think about it. Think about the person who had this little bottle And did they have a family, or were they alone and when they needed it and they used it? So really, really interesting though. Isn't that lovely? But so, right. Let me show you something else in my collection. Ghosts. People do not understand ghosts. What is a ghost? When I take a photo, will I get the ghost in the photo? Well, I am going to show you my personal collection of spirit activity. If you do not believe me, it's quite all right, but I wanted to share with you, and these photos were all taken by me except one. One was not, and I'll show you that. But I thought we'll start, where should we start? All right, we'll start here. So when they take pictures, they say spirit activity can be seen through orbs. Orbs are little bits of light. People like to say maybe even dust. So I'm sorry for the glare, but do you see that right there? This is in front of Juliet Gordon Lowe's house. And this orb appeared one night as I was taking actually one of my first tours in Savannah. I didn't even know I was going to move there yet. I thought it would be fun. And I took the picture and I looked in the picture and there was that Mr. Orb just right there floating about. Now they say orbs should emanate their own light. You'll hear others skeptics say, oh, it's dust. Well, I'm sure it is dust. But how come there isn't more dust in this picture? There's just one. This little guy right there. Now, a great example of dust, or rather orbs emanating their own light. Let's go to Fort McAllister. It's right outside Savannah. This is one of the quarters for the servants, or I'm sorry, the soldiers stayed in. And this little fellow appeared in my little light. I'm sorry, I tried to get that. There you are. You see that? Very bright reflection. And the rest of the doesn't have any, but that little guy right there showed up. There we are. And I do apologize for my primitive editing, but soon it'll change. So look at this picture. Here's another one. Someone actually, I did not take this, they sent this one. This is from the Sorrel Weed House. And if you look right there, this very bright, they were focusing in on the docent there, but instead they got this very bright orb. So you see, they can appear anywhere. People will say, oh, well, they're just dust. Well, this is an interesting one. This is in Colonial Park Cemetery. If you see, there's one. Do I have it upside down? No, I have it right. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, I did have it upside down. Ooh, how bad do I look? There we go. Here's our tree. So you see that orb is just right there in the middle of nowhere outside. But wait a minute. If you looked closer, you would have actually seen one on this tree as well. Not as bright, but I definitely encourage you when you are in any historic property or historic place to take pictures and go back through them. Take several. This is not just one picture. This is about 20 pictures. So now I will do two more just so you can get an idea. So here we have one that you can clearly see. Again, Colonial Park Cemetery in the trees. You wouldn't even expect the spirit to pop up there. And finally, this one here. Again, this is at the Sorrel Weed House. And that is the basement. Everyone again saying dust, it's dust, it's dust. Well, how come there's only one right there? So I won't waste any more time on those, but I have a couple more I'll show you at another episode. So I just ask you to think about history and mystery and things we don't understand, and well, that could be a ghost. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this second episode. I intend to do more, of course, and talk about more things, Savannah, show you more of my collections, and take you out about town so that I might show you some of my favorite spots and some of my not so favorite spots. Well, I hope you had a good time. I did enjoy myself as well. And well, don't forget my saying, of course, happy haunting.